G'day. This morning I want to tell you about a retirement side hustle that I'm currently doing. But to start off with, I got the idea while I was on holiday in New Zealand. It was roughly 6 or 7 years ago now, and I visited a local farmers market in New Zealand, and I was sitting down having my lunch, and to the left of me, I was watching this ice cream trailer. The guy was selling real fruit ice cream, and to the right of me was a Mr. Whippy van selling soft serve ice cream, and I sat there for about half an hour, and I couldn't get over how much busier the real fruit ice cream trailer was. Anyway, around that same time I visited a place called Mapua. It's a little tiny township, about half an hour's drive from Nelson at the top of the North Island. And on the way there we passed a strawberry farm on the side of the road, and they had a little shop where you could stop and grab a real fruit ice cream. So I did that, and I had to wait for a few minutes. There were 3 or 4 people in front of me. There were 2 girls serving, and I said to the girl that served me, I said, "Oh, you've got quite a busy day here today." And she said, "No, this is a quiet day." She said, "This is a really quiet day for us." And she went and told me how many ice creams they sold on a good day. And I don't want to say the number because I can't remember for sure, but I was blown away by the number of ice creams that they were selling in one day. And this was they were open all through the summer months, using strawberries from the strawberry farm. Well, anyway, I come away from these 2 experiences thinking, man, I don't think I've seen this type of business back in Australia where I live. So when I got back to Australia, I did a bit of research. I found that there was a Kiwi couple about an hour south of me. They had set up a business here in Perth 2 years prior to when I set mine up. And by what I could tell, they were doing quite well. So I went about and set my business up. I've been running it now for 5 years. At our first event, it was a local market about 5 kilometres from where I live. It was in a local park, and that night we sold 155 ice creams. That was over a 3.5 hour period, so I was pretty happy with that. Then 2 weeks later, I got into a Perth's biggest summer market. It's known as the Scarborough Sunset Market. And that night we sold 240 ice creams over about a 3.5, 4 hour period. Now, towards the end of the night, the market manager came and saw me, and she said, "Barry, I love your ice cream, but," she said, "can you get them out any faster?" Because what happened was I just had the one machine, there's one behind me, and people were having to wait half an hour. I couldn't keep up with the demand. But I was able to tell her that I'd already ordered another machine, and right as we spoke, it was coming through customs. So I had it the following week. And with that second machine, we were able to pump out more ice creams. We were able to pump them out quicker and get the wait time down to a maximum of 10 minutes. Now, I grew the business up until a year ago. I was doing 5 or 6 events a week. This was over the summer period and generally 2 over the winter period. But then I ended up in hospital with heart issues. and I spent a week in the cardiac care unit at the local hospital, and I had to cancel all my events for the next 3 months, as I just wasn't able to. I didn't have the strength to run the business. So I did that, and I was almost going to sell the business. My kids were encouraging me to sell it. They were concerned about my health. I've been living with heart failure now for the last 7 or 8 years, but it's gradually got worse. Anyway, I almost sold it, and then at the last minute I changed my mind, and I just started to feel a little bit stronger, so I decided I would keep it, and I would run it as a side hustle during my retirement years. So currently I'm doing probably averaging 2 events a week. Some events I do 1 a week, 1 event, others I do 3, but 2 most weeks. And it's working out quite well. I've got a number of staff that I can call upon. Some of the good things about this business is, one, it's flexible. I organise the dates that I want to work, generally around August and September. I apply for certain markets, and most market managers want me at their markets because what I'm selling is quite a unique product. It's probably considered one of the healthier versions of ice cream. It's gluten free. It's free of artificial colouring, and it's free of artificial flavouring. So it is popular with quite a crowd. The other good thing about the business is it's a cash business. I do take EFTPOS, and I must admit that over the last few years since COVID, the amount of cash that I see is not as much as what I used to see. I still receive a bit, and that helps out. Another good thing about this business is I've been able to employ my grandkids. I've got 3 older grandkids that have worked for me. I'll try and find a clip of one of my younger granddaughters helping out one day in the van. I'll see if I can find that and add it to this, but it's a bit of a laugh. I've had nieces work for me. I've had my daughter-in-law work for me. When I first started, most of my kids offered to help out, but they're all busy with their own work and that now, and the business is up. It's been up and running for a long time, and it can support itself. So there are others that I employ now to help out in the truck. Another good thing about this business is there is no waste. With a lot of food trucks, especially ones that sell hot food, often they have waste to contend with at the end of the night or at the end of the weekend. Fresh produce, meat, things like that. Often it can't be frozen and it's got to be chucked out. But with my business, there is no waste. If all my product that I use is frozen, apart from my waffle cones, and they keep. So that's a really good thing about this business. Another thing is the product, as I said earlier, is very unique. And because it's unique, it's easy to get into local markets. People, market managers, event organisers are always looking for something different. And this ice cream, apart from being different, it's very tasty. It's a really nice ice cream. And I think that's shown. I've got 3,000 followers on Facebook. I'll put a link to my Facebook page in the description below. But I've got a lot of people that are regular customers, which leads me on to another positive thing about this business is it's a very social business. I often sell at the same markets. There are 2 in particular that I'm there on a weekly basis over summer. And I get to know a lot of the locals, and I love that. I also get to know a lot of the other food vendors. We might share food and stuff like that. And again, over the summer, my ice cream is always popular amongst everyone. So I've talked about the flexibility of the business, but I also like the fact that I can run this business from home. Okay, I spend a bit of time at events when I'm there, when I'm trading, but other things like looking after the books, uh, I have freezers, large freezers in my garage, and that's where I store all my stock. Uh, all that's done at home, which is nice. And now that I'm only doing 2 or 3 events a week, it gives me a lot of spare time on the days that I'm not trading. The other thing I like about this business, and this is probably one of the biggest things, is it puts smiles on a lot of faces. It's amazing. You know, to have, I just love watching the reaction of kids when they're given their ice creams by their parents. Uh, and even older adults, I know one of my sons, his mate, had his father over here from another state for a couple of weeks on holiday, and he bought his dad a banana ice cream, and his dad just raved about it. He loved it. He'd never tasted anything like it. And I often get these reactions, and it's just great. It just makes my day when I do. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. The major con, I guess, of this business, as a side hustle in particular, is the cost of setting it up. However, it cost me around $30,000 to set the business up from scratch, and that included the cost of my vehicle that I needed to tow my trailer with. But there are other business models that you can do this business through, and I actually, by chance, when COVID was here, a lot of the events, local events and that, were cancelled, and so I had to pivot. And that's when I thought of another business model, which I used and which I still use today to supplement my main business. And for that business and another one that I've thought of, you don't need the food truck, and you can set it up for just the cost of a machine. But that's another story, and I'll talk about that in another video. So if you've enjoyed this, if you're interested in following my progress at events and finding out about these other business models and more about this business, then please subscribe, and that way you won't miss any upcoming videos. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I really hope you've enjoyed it. That's me for today. Thank you.